عن أمير المؤمنين أبي حفص عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إنما العمل بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى.
The problematic affairs to its rightful people. The one who magnifies knowledge relies upon the masters and experts to solve these problems that arise, and he does not make his soul do that which it cannot bear.
Okay, for this one, there's not much explanation which is needed. Most of it is straightforward and you can read. So let's summarize this one and we'll move on to the next one. Only because of time I do want to finish the book. This one is basically based upon the ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people of knowledge if you do not know. Ask the people of knowledge, give me the right hand. But you're writing, that's the problem. Shouldn't be eating in class, that's the answer. Okay. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people of knowledge if you do not know. Anytime there's something problematic or there's a question, who should you go to? You go to the ulama, you go to the scholars. That's who you ask. We've already talked about their station. So from what that station necessitates, the ulama have so many rights. I have a khutbah titled The Rights of the Scholars. You can go back to it and mention the rights. Okay? From their rights, is any problematic questions, you go and you ask them. You don't go to other students. You don't go, obviously if it's like a simple question, you can go and the student knowledge will give you an answer on behalf of the scholars. If the fatwa, he will go back to the scholars for you. But I'm talking about here, especially the issues where it's relating to the ummah, serious issue. Who do you go to? You go to the ulama, right? You don't go to people who have followers. Followers doesn't make you a scholar. Being able to speak well doesn't make you a scholar. It's a ilm. And the fact that other ulama testify to your station, that's what makes you a scholar. Okay? So this principle talks about the importance of going back to the ulama. Now, let's read the next one.
Number 16, to venerate and honor in the circles of knowledge and his vessels.
If you go back to the 6 rights of a student of knowledge, he mentions adab wa talib with himself, with his classmates, with his teacher, which is the one that we just kind of spoke about now. And from them was also etiquette with the place you're studying and the books, right? So this principle here talks about 2 of those rights, which is the circles of knowledge, which is the place where you're studying, the gatherings of knowledge, and its vessels. A vessel is something that you carry something in. For example, if I want to drink tea or water, I put it in a cup, right? It's not going to fly into my mouth now. It's going to be in a cup, right? And I drink it from there. Something that you put it in. Not knowledge. Where is it? What is it put in? It's put into books. So these books, and subhanallah, like I said, this is a very summarized book, right, regarding the adab wa talib ilm. But the ulama talk about it in depth. They even talk about if you've got a number of books, how should you stack them? The highest is the Qur'an, then tafsir, and even tafsir. Yani if the tafsir is less than the Qur'an, it takes the ruling of Qur'an. As in, like, you should have wudu when you hold it and so. If it has more tafsir than the Qur'an, then it's considered a tafsir book. Right? Even they're going to that different. So the differentiation between them 2 types of books. And then hadith books and so on. They even go into that detail regarding how much you respect books. Now.
For indeed the circles of the scholars are like the circles of the prophets. Sahil ibn Abdullah he said, whoever wants to look at the circles of the prophets, then let him look at the circles of the scholars.
Yeah, so this is the statement I mentioned previously, right? Whoever wants to look at the circles of the prophets, look at the circles of the ulama. Then he goes on to explain, because the ulama have taken that inheritance and do the same job. The role of the Prophet ﷺ was to convey the revelation from Allah and answer the questions of the people. The ulama are doing the same job. And that's why Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahimahullah, he said this. He said the scholars in our ummah are like the prophets in the previous nations. The previous nations, one prophet would pass away, another prophet would come. But for us, one prophet passed away, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he's the last and final messenger, no other prophet is going to come. So who's doing that role? Who's continuing that role of the Prophet sallallahu is the ulama. The only difference is, the ulama don't receive revelation, nor do they legislate. That's the only difference between them and the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Abdullah ibn Mubarak.
That's Abdullah ibn al-Mubarak. So that's what he says for the rest of the statement. You can read from the next paragraph. So it is upon the student. He gives examples of how to respect the place that you're studying, and then he talks about the books as well. Now.
So it is upon a student to give the circles of knowledge its due right, so he sits in them in a respectful manner. He listens carefully to the shaykh while looking While looking at him, he does not turn away from him without a necessity. He does not become distracted by a sound he hears. He does not play with his hands nor feet. He does not recline in the presence of the shaykh, nor does he lean on his hand. He does not continuously clear his throat, nor
There's a clear in the throat, like sometimes forget in the class, sometimes in salah, all I hear every second is and I'm thinking somebody's taking a mistake out, so I'll go quiet. Alright, no saying it. Yeah, that's not the ethic of salah or in being in the masjid or being in a class. Yeah, you might have something in your throat, but you don't have to do that much, right? No.
He does not continuously clear his throat, nor move around plentifully. He does not speak with the person next to him. If he sneezes, he lowers his voice. If he yawns, he covers his mouth after trying to utmost to prevent it.
Yeah, so if you want to yawn, you don't go, right? You don't do that. You do quietly, discreetly, and you carry on. Right? Just imagine if you were like stood in front of a king or something. You're going to be doing that in front of him. You are, right? So the gatherings of knowledge have much more high status than that. No.
Likewise, the honouring of the circles of knowledge is to venerate the containers of knowledge where it's preserved, and the main one is the books. So what is befitting for a student of knowledge is the safekeeping of his book, preservation of it, holding it in high esteem, and to take great care of it. So he does not use it like a box where he stores things that are extra, nor does he treat it like trumpet, and if he puts it down, then he does so with gentleness and care. One day Ishaq ibn
Rahuya. So this name Rahuya, there's two ways of saying it. You can say Rahuya and you can say Rahaway. The grammarians, they say Rahaway because that's how it is in grammar. The scholars of hadith say no, we'll pronounce it the way it's been narrated to us. And the way it's been narrated is Rahuya. And he was one of the contemporaries of Imam Ahmad rahimahullah. And he's a teacher of Bukhari. He's the one that said to Bukhari that you should gather a book that compiles authentic hadith. Imam Bukhari said that's one of the reasons that made me write Sahih Bukhari.
One day Ishaq ibn Rahuya threw a book that was in his hand. So Imam Ahmad saw that and became angry and said, "Is that how you deal with the speech of the righteous? He does not lean on top of the books, nor does he place it near his feet. And if he reads it upon a shaykh, then he should lift it from the floor and hold it with his hands."
No. Or if you're on a bench, it's fine to put on the bench. No.